or 5 of them here that me and my father sold shingles to. That one by the door there.
Don't bring politics into this.
No, sir, I won't. But it was Secesh that done in the men I found dead.
It is true that Confederate Major William J. Alexander from Camp Verde, whereabouts unknown, is currently under indictment for murder and highway robbery. We're trying to ascertain which of his men took part in the hanging of the 8 travelers you found dead.
Clarence Hanlon was one, sir.
I know that's your testimony, but if it's true, we have to get to it in a logical way. Simply answer my questions.
Yes, sir.
So you fired at the deer and missed and pitched a fit. What happened next?
I heard coyotes yipping, and I thought it was Comanches. I tied my mare in the brush and went a distance off and laid down flat where nobody could have seen me in the grass. But the longer I laid there and listened, the more I thought, that is not Indians, that is actual coyotes. I figured maybe I'd shot the deer and wounded it, and it had run off and gone down, and now the coyotes was closed in and devouring it. So I thought to go and investigate and see what they was up to. I went on my belly on the chance it was Comanches, in fact, and not coyotes. And that was when I come across what I seen.
As precisely as you can, describe what you saw.
Clarence Hanlon and a pack of coyotes under a clump of scrub oaks, sir, some ways from the creek. They was in dusky light of the morning, amid prickly pear, on rocky ground, and the coyotes was lighting out because Clarence Hanlon was waving his stick and yipping at them with a yip like he was one of them. He was spooking them out. It was a puzzle to me why he did not shoot them if they was bothering him. He had a gun, but it appeared that he...
You had not at that time ever seen Mr. Hanlon before, is that correct?
Not exactly correct, sir. I'd seen soldiers coming and going on the roads near Camp Verde, and I believe I'd seen Clarence Hanlon amongst them, as I'd noticed he had an eye that drooped. He had a distinctive look, sir. It was not a pleasant look. He was not homely, but his looks was against him and not right.
Gentlemen, can we please have no snickering? Alfred, I hope you're getting everything down. I want the details recorded. All right, Benjamin, you saw a pack of coyotes and a man whom you thought you might recognize as one of the Confederate soldiers stationed at Camp Verde, but whom you did not at that time know by name, and with whom you had never conversed, waving a stick at the coyotes in the apparent effort to scare them off. Is that right?
Yes, sir. And yipping at them, sir. It was an odd thing, to my thinking. There was a dog-like thing about it, sir.
Are you casting aspersions?
If you mean, am I insulting the man? No, sir. I guess you could say he sounded a bit like a pig, too, sir, if you wanted to cast what you said. A aspersion? It would not be off the mark. I will put it this way. It was a weird noise he made to fuss at them coyotes. Rather spooked me. Then I seen him squat down like he was fixing to pluck up firewood or some such. There was plenty of broken limbs laying about. But what he plucked up was not firewood. It was a arm. And then I seen that it was attached to a body. And then I seen other bodies.
Pause there. Where were the bodies?
All about at his feet, sir. Scattered, I would say. Maybe a dozen of them.
For the record, there were 8 bodies.
They looked like more than 8 to me, the way they was strewn. But 8's on the mark if you say so. I was 20 yards off, or more. The light was feeble on account of the sun was not full up, and now that I think on it, I suppose my first idea was the bodies was logs and branches and nothing amiss. So how many of them there was, I did not contemplate on at that time.
There were 8 dead, precisely. We have their names. Some of these men here in this room were called out from town to help bury them. Now continue. What did you do when you saw the bodies?
I tried to figure it out like this. Here is these bodies and these coyotes and Clarence Hanlon with his stick and his yipping, so...
Clarence Hanlon, whom you did not yet know to be Clarence Hanlon, but with whom you would later, I take it, have some familiarity?
That's right, sir. At that time I known him for a man with a droopy eye in a Secesh outfit, who I thought I might have seen before on the road near Camp Verde. So I figured the coyotes was trying to feast on the bodies.